Trust Yourself. You Know More Than You Think You Do by Benjamin Spoke. Hey guys, welcome back on the LJ.Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Louisa Jazor, and today's episode is all about building trust in yourself. Yes. So, in this podcast, we will talk about how to basically build trust in yourself, but also understanding the meaning of it. So, trust can help bring us closer to other people. Trusting others, such as family members and friends, can reassure us that we will be helped when we need it. It's the foundation of any healthy relationship, including the relationship you have with yourself. Trusting yourself can build up your confidence, make it easier for you to make decisions, and reduce your stress levels. And the good news is that even if you don't trust yourself now, with some effort, you can build up that over time. I am going to give you 6 tips for building trust in yourself. So, there is no one more important to trust in yourself, of course. Sometimes we lose trust in ourselves after we make a mistake or after someone criticizes us harshly or consistently. It can feel more difficult to make decisions when you can't trust yourself because you fear you'll make the wrong choice. Or you might be more prone to criticizing your own decisions after you make them. So, building trust in yourself can help boost your decision-making, skills, and self-confidence. This can make life feel a little easier and much more enjoyable. So, here are six tips to help you learn how to trust yourself, with also examples about my life. So, the first point is be yourself. If you fear how others will look at you or judge you, you might find it difficult to be yourself around other people. Acting like a different person than who you really are is a sign that you're lacking of self-confidence and trust in yourself. Other people will be able to sense that. So, how do you build up your trust enough to be yourself around others? That's a good question. When you start to feel insecure around others, remind yourself that it's okay to be yourself. Start by basically practicing around the people you feel most comfortable with, like your friends and close family. Take note if you feel vulnerable or uncomfortable and keep spending time with these people until your insecure feelings start to disappear. So, once you can be yourself around other people, they will treat you with more trust. This can help you build up your trust in yourself. So, about also an example about my life is that I have the same thing. So, last week I saw also on Zen Habits, because it was so interesting, there are articles, etc. You really could go and see them because it's incredible. But then I saw building trust in yourselves, and I was like, this, why not? It was like, my heart was like, you need to read this. And so I read this and I was like, wow, this is so incredible, because when I think about it, I'm like, yes, I don't trust myself enough, because yes, you can have confidence, you can have the greatest mindset ever, you can have your emotional intelligence, but the thing that I had in my life was I was lacking of self-trust, because I can trust other people with no problem, but I was lacking of self-trust, and that's why sometimes I couldn't make a choice or I was scared about something. Right now, I'm also scared, and I'm also working on it, and next week I'm going to have an exam that is a bit complicated, but I was like, yeah, why do I think I'm not succeeding? Even if I worked for 2 months in a row, why do I think I won't succeed? And then a few of my friends plus my family told me, you're lacking of self-trust. I was like, self-trust? I never heard of this word before. So it was the first time. And I was like, okay, well, I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna find some information and stuff to just look at it what it is. And when I saw like a few videos, I saw like 2 or 3 videos and also like many articles. And I was like, yeah, these are like good points, and that's why I'm talking about like the 6 points that are very important. But I saw that when I was talking with my family and stuff, it was a lot easier because I can talk for hours. I love to talk. I love to, like, there's no problem for me. But then when I talk with other people, besides my family and stuff, so maybe school or I'm just trusting myself for succeeding in my math, I was like, wow, well, there, I need to work on myself because I don't know, I just can't trust like other people. I'm just so scared because I'm someone who is very shy. I assume it. I am someone who can be very shy. But then, like, if I talk with someone, it's a little bit easier. And so, yeah, I am very shy. But then I was like, I need to work on myself because I can't be, as also a businesswoman, be shy to talk with other people. Because I was like, how am I going to do when I will be like a truly successful businesswoman? Because I will have maybe, I don't know, interviews. I will also have like interviews with people that I want to recruit. Like, I was like, yeah, I really need to work on it because I need to also trust myself and tell myself, Luisa, like, you can do it. And that's why the first point you need to really do is to really talk with like your family, with your friends, and just examine what is the issue. You can be basically yourself around other people. Well, they will treat you with more trust. So, yeah, that's why this can build up your trust in yourself and you will be more comfortable with a certain subject. So, number two is to set reasonable goals. So, often we aim high with our goals. Instead of aiming to make 50,000 a year from our job, we aim to make $100,000 a year. Instead of trying to complete a project in 2 weeks, we try to do it in 1 week. And setting our goals high can be a good thing because it motivates us to work hard for what we want. But unfortunately, setting goals that are too ambitious has a major downside. When we don't reach our big goals, we experience failure. Failing often can reduce your self confidence and ability to trust yourself. So instead of setting one big goal, try setting many little goals that put you in the direction of your big goal. Doing so will make your big goal more realistic. You'll also gain confidence and trust in yourself while accomplishing the smaller goals along the way. This one is one of my favorite because I'm someone who works a lot. When I say a lot, I work a lot, a lot. And even when I have school, even when sometimes, you know that last week, because I didn't learn my math the whole journey because I was always doing something else, very important also, I did my math at 1 a.m. When I tell you I work a lot, is that I am so disciplined. But a lot of people say to me, yeah, you're so disciplined, etc. This is not good. Well, discipline is good. It depends basically. Because being disciplined is good because you don't need necessary when we basically aim with high goals, we sometimes forget that because we have discipline, we work a lot and sometimes too much. And then when we don't succeed, we just fail. And then we just like, we're like with all our emotions, and just very sad and angry, etc. So in it, what I always tell people when they ask me this question, because we did last year, we did something that was very, very cool, actually. But like we had like a piece of paper in our back, and then people could write anything, what they want, something positive, of course. And on my card, I had just, you're so disciplined, you motivate me, you work a lot, you work hard, success is going to come, etc. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. But I was like, is this all about me, Is this all about people that see in me, just working and working and working? Because yes, I love to work. I love to work about like my just my love, because working about my businesses, etc., it's my love, but I don't want people to see just this in me, I want people to see that I am someone who is very creative. I love to draw, I love to read also, I love to talk, to communicate. It's something I love to do. And I saw that people really forget who I was, because they saw just I was working. I was like, damn, like I know I work a lot, but they don't see that working a lot is sometimes really not good. I'm talking like about the fact that when someone aim a high goal and just wants it to do it in 1 week instead of 2 weeks, it's a big problem because yes, I know that if I had a project and I needed to do it in 2 weeks, I know I can do it in 1 week. But the thing is that in this, I also need to basically like if it's a project for in 2 weeks, then it's a project that takes 2 weeks and not 1 week. So you're like, there is a problem because in 2 weeks I can basically work maybe 1 or 2 hours and then per day and then just work on myself and then just chill a bit, do something I love, so drawing, etc. And if I, because I do it, if I do it in 1 week, then I work basically 2 times. So I work 4 hours per day, and then I don't have time to do anything else. You know what I mean? And that's a big issue because you need to think about it. You know that you can do better. You know that you can do it in 1 week instead of 2 weeks. But you also need to remind yourself you are a human. You're someone with emotions, maybe sensitive. I don't know you. But one thing I am sure about is that you are a human. And I am sure you can, like, you're very disciplined or you're someone who likes to work, etc. Because either way, you wouldn't listen to it. But please just remind yourself you also need to reward yourself with something good. Okay? And that's something I did this week is that when I couldn't work anymore because I was very tired, I could work, but I was too tired. So I told myself, okay, now you're going to stop because quality is even more important than quantity. And that's something I really learned about it this week is that you need to set reasonable goals. You really need to set realistic goals. If it's a project that takes basically 2 weeks, then it takes 2 weeks and not 1 week. Please just listen to it, okay? Just put it into little tasks, little goals, because every day you're going to achieve a goal, and that's something every human wants. Everyone wants, but set realistic goals and don't basically put yourself with a lot of work. Okay, just breathe, see a little bit around you in your room, in your work. I don't know where you are listening to my podcast, but see around yourself and see the goodness. Go for a walk. See the nature. Listen to your favorite music. Read your favorite book. All these things, do it and stop working a lot. Number 3 is to be kind to yourself. I heard this so many times in every like website, etc., every article that I saw, is to be kind to yourself. So you've probably heard the term unconditional love. Maybe it's been mentioned in relation to the connection as a connection a parent has with their child, or the love that exists between siblings, friends, or even romantic partners. But did you know that it's also very important to love yourself unconditionally? So, loving yourself unconditionally means getting rid of negative thoughts about yourself and any self criticism after you make a mistake. Start by keeping a close eye on your inner voice and how it reacts to your actions. Is it kind or mean? Because that's a big question. Is it accepting or critical? When you can love yourself unconditionally, you can trust yourself unconditionally. And that builds confidence and just love towards yourself. So this was the biggest issue I just needed to face, and I'm still working on it. You know that when someone has eczema, it's because they don't feel good in themselves. They don't have trust in themselves, they're not confident, and they just don't like their body. My sister has this. I also had eczema a few months ago, and that's when I had no confidence at all. I was so mean to myself. I also have another like example when I was just hurting myself because I felt in depression last year. Big, big, big depression. And I just started to hurt myself. I'm good, but like I started to hurt myself. I was like, why are you doing this? Why? Because I had all my life been angry at myself because all my life I thought that it has always been my fault. Um, about it, it's a very complicated situation to explain, but like I feel like you need to know about it is that like I don't want you to just feel pity or something like that. I just want you to understand about my life because maybe you can understand your life. So about my life, when I was younger, my parents decided to divorce when I was just 1 years old, and since then you're like, yeah, you should just like you were 1 years old, so you can remember. Okay, maybe. But when I grew up, and you know, when if you have like divorced parent, you know what it is. But you have also like always one parent that will criticize the others and then just argument and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, it always has been very toxic. And all my life I thought it was my fault if they split it. And I think most of the children's having divorced parents know this and maybe feel this. Maybe they cannot explain this because, for example, my sister cannot explain this. It takes time, she's young, but I understood this when I was, I think, 13 or 14, that I always thought it was my fault. And that's why I was very, very, very angry at myself. I was too disciplined with myself. I was too hard with myself because I expected a lot more than me. And also, when I had my stepfather, it was very complicated because it was always my fault. I had like a big sister and a small sister, and I was in the middle. And you know that a lot of the time, when you're the middle child, you are going to be screamed at, and it will always be your fault because it will never be the fault of your little sister because she's too little, or the big sister because she's the big sister. You know what I mean? Um, and so yeah, very complicated. So I always thought to myself, I need to be the best. I need to work a lot. I need to be this. I need to make my father proud because I'm in a very, very, very high, complicated school year, like school. And when my father saw that I had literally 42 out of 60 of moyenne, in the whole year as a French person is just incredible, as also the highest level of school you can have, basically in Luxembourg. It's so high, it's so like strict, and I was like, wow, he's not even he he's so disappointed. And I was like, what? Like as a French person, this is so good. And I was so disappointed at myself because I was like, damn, you you're just nothing. And last year, that's why I felt into depression because it was so complicated. So complicated. I just cried. I kept crying and just hurting myself. And then this year, 2024, I thought to myself, I don't care. For real. I was like, I do not care about what people think about me. I do not care about what my friends think about me, what teachers think about me, what my father, parents, I don't care at all. Now it's my life. Now I'm 17. Now I do whatever I want to do. And it doesn't mean I just want to drop out of school. No, no, no. I'm continuing school, even if I just hate school, but whatever. I hate the system. But I'm going to continue school. I'm going to succeed in my life. I'm going to do whatever I want. If I want to go to university, I will go. If I don't, well, I don't because I don't want to go to university. In my family, um, it has always been something very important to go to university. But if I don't want to, if you don't want to, why do you feel obligated to do it? Because this is your life now. You decide what you want to be. And the moment I realized that this year, and also right now, I realized that it is my life. If I want to succeed in life, I will. Why being mean to yourself? Because this, all what happened, isn't my fault. And that's when I understood. Everything that happened wasn't my fault. I was a child. It is never your fault. Your fault. If your parents split, it is their fault. They did something or they weren't in love. This can happen, but this isn't your fault. And I tell this to my sister a lot because I don't want her to get hurt like I was. I don't want her to be not like to just not feel good in herself. I want her to love herself. But this is her path. She also needs to get into this path because they also need to learn by themselves. And I was like at this moment I was like, damn, now you do whatever you want, Luisa. Okay? And this is the moment where I accepted how I was. I accepted that I was shy. Sometimes I also turn a little bit like red because I'm so shy. But now I laugh about it because I'm like, why do you want to be so mean with yourself? Because this is you, this is your identity. I am someone very creative. I am someone very sensitive. I am someone who has a lot of emotions. But this is me. And that's something you must learn and must accept about yourself. So please take the time, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I don't care. Close your eyes and be aware of what you're telling to yourself. Stop saying mean things about yourself. Stop being critical about yourself. See the good things. Okay? If you critic yourself, it's because you don't have this. And you don't have this. That's it. For example, me, I always criticize me because I was too emotional. And my sister is someone who isn't emotional. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wish to not be emotional, etc. No, accept it. I am emotional, and that is beautiful because I can put myself in every single situations and understand what people feel. My sister, maybe she cannot. Just this into a positive emotion. Because when you will learn to love yourself unconditionally, you will trust yourself unconditionally. And that builds confidence, builds your strength, builds your mindset, builds everything. Confidence, it's a lot deeper. Confidence is about trusting yourself and accepting who you are. Number 4 is to build on your strength. So everyone is better at something and worse at others. Like everyone, you probably have a good idea of what things you excel and at which things you don't do as well with. Trusting yourself means being able to attempt to do all kinds of things without judging yourself too harshly. However, if you're looking to build trust in yourself, it can be helpful to do more of the things that you're good at and less of the things that you aren't great at. If you're not sure what you're good at, ask those people closest to you. Can be your friends, can be your family, whatever. Spend more time doing those things that can build you. Trust knowing you excel at those things. Be accepting of your strength as well as your weaknesses. So again, same thing. Basically, if you are not good at a thing and you know that it isn't your thing, so for example, having emotional intelligence. If you don't have emotional intelligence and you just don't have it because you don't have it, then build something else. Like build something where you are good at. For example, I am very good at emotional intelligence. This is something I have. It's so natural in me. And because it's so natural, I will basically work on it every single day to become better. Why do you want to basically take your time at learning something you don't have? Because I'm talking really of the things you have like in yourself. It's part of you. So for example, what is part of me is emotional intelligence, is communication. It's so natural to me. It's something I have in me. And for example, my character, I am very, energetic, but also very calm. So it depends really on my mood. But this is something I have. So just work on it. For example, emotional intelligence is something you need to work all your life. It is something you will learn like for the rest of your life. So work on it. If you don't have this, for example, you have math intelligence. So math intelligence isn't just about like being good at math. It's a lot more than this. But if you have this, then work on it. Don't work on something you don't have. A lot of people say to me, "Yeah, but I want to be aware of emotions of the others." Yeah, okay. But what you need to understand is that, do you want to spend your time learning something you don't have and you know that you aren't good at because this is not natural for you? Or do you want to spend your time working on something you are good at and excel and just be even greater than before? Because this, when you will build this, you will build your strength. Even myself, I cannot be good at every subject in my school. I have like a girl that was good at everything. I don't know how she does, but she's good at everything. I am not good at everything, and I don't care. I'm good at French. I'm good at geography, history. What else? I don't even know. I don't. Oh, math. I'm not very good at math. I'm just working on it because I need to be better, but I don't want to be 100% good at it because it's not me. I'm working with emotional intelligence. That's why I understand history. I have these emotions that tells myself, "Oh my gosh, this happened to Louis 16 or Louis 14, Like, wow." Some people are like, "Yeah, whatever." And they just forget it because these are math people that are working like this. So please try to really build your strength. Examine what is good and what is bad. Examine something where you're good at and work on it. Number 5 is to spend time with yourself. Something I love to do. When you don't trust yourself, you might feel uncomfortable spending time looking inward. You might try to keep busy all day by constantly getting involved in activities or thinking about small things outside of yourself. Break the habit of looking away from yourself by patiently looking inward. You can look in with meditation. Try sitting with yourself in a quiet place for 5 to 15 minutes each day. Pay close attention to your breath and body. As any thoughts or self criticism pass by, acknowledge them and then let them go. Allowing time for this important one on one with yourself can build up your self trust. And I always, if you if you already listen to my episodes, to my podcast, you know that I always said I am not good with meditation. This is not something for me, etc. Well, I'm going to tell you something else today. So I always said, yeah, I hate meditation. But now for the past week, I tried meditation. And when I tell you this has changed, it has really changed. I don't do meditation for 15 minutes because this is just too much for me, but I try to just do at least 5 minutes each day. And I do this every single morning. I just put in music and just try to listen to me, try to listen what I want, etc. Because I work a lot, but I try to take at least 1 or 2 hours per day where I do something for me. So I can do a workout, I can draw, I can be creative. But the fact that you're meditating is that you are stopping your brain to think about something. And when you stop it unconsciously, you will see all the things that you say to yourself every day, every single second, etc., every single minute. And the fact that you can really stop your brain thinking, stop completely, you will unconsciously see what what things you are saying to yourself, and then just allow them to go. Okay, today I told myself I was very bad at math. I'm letting it go. I know it's not true. I know if I work a little bit more, I will be better. Another example, I told myself I am so scared that I'm going to fail for my exam. But then I'm like, let it go. You know that you will be good at your exam. You know this. Stop with your thoughts. And I replace it always with something positive. And this has helped me building really my trust, confidence, my trust, um, my self trust. Sorry, and it has really helped me a lot of just being aware. Also, like 20 minutes before this, I I told to myself, I'm so scared to not be good at my school because my school is really about the thing I love the most, so business, entrepreneurship, marketing, etc. I told myself I was so scared to not succeed. But then I told myself, Luisa, like, you don't want to be the most perfect or the most successful in your school. You are here to learn. I was like, yeah, you're right, unconsciously to myself. I was like, yeah, you're right. I don't need to be perfect. I just want to learn. I just want to be happy. I don't want to learn every single day and just be like the best. No, I want to live my life. I want to be happy. When I go to school every morning, I want to be happy to go there because I will learn something I love the most. This is what I want in my life. And I was like, damn. And then it made me smile because I was like, yeah, you're right. And that's why, very important, just meditate for 5 to 15 minutes each day. It can be in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. I don't care, just do it. And listen to yourself. Okay, so the last one is number 6. Be decisive. So we lack trust in ourselves when we question our actions or decisions. Sometimes we might even question who we are. That can hurt. Build trust in yourself by breaking your habit of questioning your decisions. Next time you make a choice, stick with it. Even if it turns out not to be the best choice, there's no use beating yourself up over the decision you made. The best you can do is to learn from your mistake. Believe that you'll make a better choice next time and move on. Doing so will help you learn to be more trusting of yourself and your decision making skills. So, about that, it's completely true that being decisive is normal. Making like a decision and it wasn't the best is normal. You cannot predict the future. So if you do something and it wasn't the best choice, it's okay. Maybe you can turn back, you can turn forward and find a solution. If you don't have a solution, that's okay. Next time you will do better. So basically, in it, what I want you to recognize, to understand, to acknowledge is that it is normal to make to be decisive. It is normal to not always make the best choice in life. Even if you're a mother or a father or a teacher or whatever you are, um, it is normal to make um a bad decision. Okay, even myself as a 17 years old, I also do bad decisions, but that's okay because the fact that if you're learning from it, then this is the most beautiful thing because you know that if you want to learn in life, you also need to accept that you will make bad decisions. And that's how we learn in life. So, trusting yourself is one of the most helpful things you can do for you in your life. It can help build your confidence, allow others to trust you more, and make the process of decision making much easier. To trust yourself, all you need is to make a little effort, create self-love, and find the ability to look inward. So this was the end, guys. I hope you really like this one. Um, in this episode, I talked a lot about my personal life, my personal just examples because I thought maybe talking about me will help you maybe trust me a little bit more, and also you can examine what I examine. So you can learn from my mistakes. You can learn from what I just had in life because I don't want you to live the same things. I want you to understand at the youngest age possible that it isn't always your fault, that you cannot be always the best, and that the most important thing in life is to really love yourself how you are, accept yourself how you are, and yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, I hope you really like this one. If you have again any questions or something you wanna learn or whatever, or also can share your story, you can write me through Instagram or also per with my email address. So if you want, can also write me an email. And yeah, I think that's it. Share it with someone you think could be really helpful. And yeah, just comment and whatever, do whatever you want. That's it. So yeah, hope it will really help you a lot. And yeah, I think that's it. Have a nice days, guys. It was Louisa Jazar, LJ Mindset Podcast. Bye.